Hey guys, check this out. This is Tech to Pants. We're going to be going over the Camillus Pristine. Check that out. Get a little check up close of all of this. Really nice looking G10 on this. Got some G10 handles, and look at that, some VG10 steel. Talk about that here in a minute. Really nice looking machined. It looks like stainless steel spacer in the back there. Really looking nice. And a fairly thick blade coming down to a decently precise tip and kind of a odd blade shape up here. But like I said, we'll talk about that later. Alright, so I have a decent amount of experience with this particular blade. This is the first review that I'm doing on my new channel, so you'll kind of get, I don't know, starting from the first blade that I really had that was anything of more than gas station quality, and then we're going to be going over a couple other things, and going to be a whole review channel here, different gear, guns, knives, anything cool looking that guys would be into, and some girls maybe. I don't know, think about that. So you can see there's quite a bit of wear on this. It's got the coating, carbon nitride coating on it that Camillus really pushes in their marketing. And I have to say, over 2 years that I've had it, it performs pretty dang well. VG10 is pretty rust-resistant steel as it starts out from the factory, but adding this carbon nitride titanium layer just kind of helps reassure any rusting issues if you put it away wet or whatnot. And you can see in a couple of places that big scratch, working on a little bit of fencing, scratch that, but it hasn't gone all the way through the coating. That's just on the surface, so that's the coating doing what it's supposed to be. On the thumb stud here, I am a right-handed person, so you can see there is maybe a little bit hard to see in the video, but the coating is completely worn off that thumb stud. And this thumb stud also, because sometimes I open it with my middle finger, kind of like you would a Spyderco on the opposite side. So the whole thing about this knife is that I used it as a do-all knife. You know, it's a 3.5 inch long blade here. Pretty much perfect length to do about anything you would need to. It's a little bit on the heavy side. Let's weigh it real quick. My scale here. Okay, 3.56 ounces. So 3.5 ounces. Not too bad, not too heavy for a knife like this, but there are a lot of amazing options in the knife world today, and they're just the beginning of 2019. And so recommending this to you, I have to have a little bit more than just weight that this thing wins out on. This back spacer here is really, really nicely machined. Looks really good. You don't realize a whole lot of how much grip this gives you, but it's just a little bit of added flair that the designers had, and I really ended up liking it in the end. Thought after I first busted it out of the package it wouldn't be too great, but really dig it now. We have this kind of stainless steel mixed with G10 handles here, and you get a decent amount of grip off of this G10. It's just not like really, really good. It's not something that's like stippled or really aggressive. Just a nice, almost smooth, but has just enough texture to get you by kind of feel. Have, all the screws and construction here. So the main thing about this knife that I really like is that it has like long-standing, I guess the durability on this is really, really incredible. So I wore this every day for a little bit over a year before I bought any other knives other than this one. And I only bought some other ones because I wanted some different designs, wanted to check them out, something a little bit different, something cooler maybe. This pivot screw I've never tightened, I've never messed with, and over 2 years, the opening on this is silky smooth. I mean, just absolutely silky smooth. And while we're on the point of opening, we have it's a liner lock knife, stainless steel liner locks, and stainless steel frame here. And one of the main things that people have as a detracting factor of this knife is that the liner lock is hard to open. And I will absolutely agree with that. but I would say anybody that has, as long as you don't have arthritis or anything like that in your hands, this knife should be absolutely fine. It takes more resistance to open than like some of my Spydercos or Kershaw's, other stuff like that, but it is no problem as long as you're not sitting here and constantly opening it for hours at a time, you know, because no knife people would do that, right? Pocket clip, got to get moving here. Pocket clip is nice. It's not deep carry, which is kind of a detractor, but not a whole lot. I don't really care that much about a deep carry pocket clip for my specific carry purposes. You have 3 different screws here, which is nice. You don't have no movement of the pocket clip here in your pocket when you're carrying it around over time. I've never tightened any hardware on this knife, so that's really nice. We have a lanyard hole here at the back in case you want to throw a lanyard on there. I never do with knives of this size. You can see there's a bunch of dirt and grime in there from carrying it. Like I said, it's a fairly substantially weighted knife, but that just goes to feel really, really good when you are using it and holding it in your hand. So on that point of holding it in your hand, how does it feel? How does it work? Did it come sharp? How does the blade hold up? Yada, yada, yada. So you have on the bottom here these little finger grooves, a little bit hard to see, maybe a little bit easier in that particular angle. And these aren't like super, super defined, so a whole bunch of different hand sizes will fit them, but it's perfect. It's point blank perfect. These finger grooves work really good together with this thumb ramp, which there's no jimping. I kind of would have liked to see some jimping on there, but nonetheless, it is really, really, really locks in your grip, and you can do some really controlled, fine work here with the blade. VG10 on this knife, really, really nice steel. It's not, not one of the higher end, more expensive steels like M4 or S90, S110, something like that, but really good for, and here's the awesome point about it, $38. 38 bucks, guys, for this knife on Amazon at the time of this filming. Really, really good. So there's a lot of other options out there. This is just one of the ones that I'm throwing out for kind of use as a gentleman's folding knife, or as kind of obvious as what I introed the video with, an EDC knife, everyday carry. You can absolutely carry a knife like this every day and use it for whatever, and it'll be absolutely ultimate. Here's another thing. Rock solid lockup, guys. Absolutely amazing. I have a Spyderco that doesn't have this great of lockup. I have cold steels and everything else that don't have this great of lockup. But this knife has amazing lockup. Super strong, trust it all the time. Get some actual work done. I don't carry this knife too much anymore. I usually go with something a little bit different that can maybe flex into like a tactical use or something of that nature. But this thing is great. If I just throw it into my pocket, I know it's going to get the job done, get the work done, and, hold up till the end of the day. One last point, speaking of holding up, this knife's edge has been amazing. Came out of the box, and it was scary sharp. Absolutely scary sharp. After being used to the crap steel on gas station knives and knives from Walmart and whatnot, this knife was a great relief, and it has held its edge beautifully. We sharpen it on an electric sharpener as of right now, and stays really sharp. It takes a really sharp edge. Yes, since it's VG10, it will take a little while to sharpen because that is really hard steel, but really, really, really nice blade. Nice knife overall. Not many things bad about it. I really can't find any specific thing after about 2+ years of owning this knife that I don't like about it, except for the possibility of not having a deep carry pocket clip. But as always, thanks guys. Like, comment, subscribe if you want to. If you give me a thumbs down, that's all right. I would challenge you though, if you're going to do that, go into the comments and tell me why you didn't like my video, and I'll try to do the best as I can to fix what you guys were talking about. Thank you. Bye.